元公安直属ヘディナガン。
お互いいつ裏切ってもいい。ソルトラーク。
Can you tell me what they have in common? That's right, they have purple hair and kick ass. And that's precisely my type. It's a heck of a lot better if the girl can absolutely overpower you. And this manga does exactly that. Oh my golly gee, the title is so long. I ain't reading that. Pushing aside the length of the title, let's recap, shall we? Our story begins with our protagonist, Orafushi, who I'm just gonna call Fushi, being absolutely spat on by some brats, being forced to get those asses their drinks in under 100 seconds. I think those dudes forget that he's Orafushi, not Fushiguro Toji. After buying the drink, he was ready to run back, but accidentally bumps into her, the Empress. Why, hello there. Anyways, Fushi did not get the same reaction I did. He felt his hair on his nuts tingle due to sheer fear. He quickly apologized to the Empress and ran back to class like he has a hitman on him. He returned but got his gut abused for going beyond the time limit. He then explained that the reason he was late was because he met the Empress. Those poop heads felt their poop exit their anuses after hearing about the Empress. They start worrying, thinking that Fushi had called her to be his avenger. But the other guy said it's Daijobu and that Fushi wouldn't dare speak to her because he's afraid of girls. I understand, bro. Same here. She is vengeance. She is the knight. She is Kohinata Karen. She's just straight up Batman beating up bullies who prey on the weak. He knows that if the Empress finds out he's been bullied, she'd show up as a knight in shining armor and save him, but he won't tell her because he's afraid of talking to girls. Absolutely fair, bro. After school, Fushi got in touch with his inner Toji and dashed straight out of school to avoid dealing with his bullies. Congrats, bro. You made it out alive. Fushi is awfully smiley despite him living on a leash, but hey, it's a weekend, so I guess you're happy regardless, as long as it's a weekend. He's going to enjoy his day to the very fullest, because it's the only time when he's not having his balls kicked. He strolls around the city smiling like there's no worries in life, but all that smile flipped upside down after seeing those doo-doo heads. He quickly ran off to a corner to avoid them, but as he looked back, he noticed those three trying to riz a girl using tips from Reddit. And we all know that they always work. Fushi contemplates on getting help, but what if he's too late to get help and something even worse happens? He begins playing Brazilian funk in his head to channel his inner anime power, and proceeds to bankai the doo-doo head to the ground. Fushi yells at her to run away and she does, calling backup. Frankly, I'm surprised by how tanky he is, cause he'd be taking hits left and right like he's Yuji Itadori. Fushi is now at the mercy of his enemy, but fortunately for him, the best girl of the manga instant transmission's behind him and scares the poopy face. She confronts the bullies and tells them how she hates people who shit on the weak, and now she's gonna send him 20 feet under. They then try to pussy out of the conflict by saying that now she's the bully, cause she's stronger and is now gonna beat him up. Well, duh, that girl you harassed just now was my friend, and now you're gonna have your balls produce red liquid instead of white. Kohinata then proceeds to effortlessly neg-diff two of those guys.
That's hot.
And out of nowhere, Kohinata then proceeds to tell Fushi to participate in the fight and beat the last guy up. A spark of hope flashed before the last guy's eyes, since he knows that he's not much of a fighter, so he'll win. But Daijobu, she'll guide him through it. Let me take your place, lil bro. Mommy gets close to Fushi, and despite the amount of blood he lost, there's still enough blood flowing to get it stiffed. They exchange names and she gave him some solid advice, which is to just kick his unclean bum, and she sent him on his way. This doofus then dashed towards him and Fushi lifts his leg to defend himself. Their collision was so epic that it shook the entire Dragon Ball macrocosm. And in that boom, the winner had already been decided. Congratulations, Fushi, you high-diffed him. Kohinata then helps him up and explains that due to the fact that he had been used like a delivery driver without a vehicle, his legs have built up some crazy levels of endurance and muscle. She then added that those three Bakas are absolute frauds like Sukuna, since they only mainly fight those who are weaker than them, but at the sight of someone as strong as them, they begin panicking. She then also adds that he could have turned that high-diff fight into a low-diff fight, if he wasn't already weakened, and if he aimed for the head like what Thor could have done. Oh, why don't you look at that? The fodder woke and now wants revenge. He then dashed towards Bro, fist clenched, arm back, pupils turned white and ready to perform a black flash. With no success, because she intervened with a kick. I cannot show what's down there. Oopsie poopsie, look into it yourself. I gotta say though, it is unnecessarily drawn in detail. Okay, bro. She then told him that if he performs a kick like that, he'd be soloing that of Sung Jin Woo. She only then realized that he had not focused on the kick of it, but rather the thick of it. She called him a baka, which in the anime world means that she's already in love with you, and that she's not embarrassed about accidentally showing her not safe for work pants. She tries avoiding the topic by saying that they should meet Haruno, which was that girl Fushi had saved. And there she is, Haruno, calling out to Kohinata, and then she trips on air and eats dirt on the ground. She worriedly asks him Daijobu desu ka, which he says he is. He's now patched up and ready to go, and she thanks him for saving her. Kohinata then introduced each other to, well, each other. And it is revealed that Haruno is apparently going to be a junior in their school, which is rather surprising to say the least. Haruno then admitted that she had actually met Kohinata back then, and she had saved her before. She was so impressed by her that she joined the same school. Both girls suggested that his best course of action is to take medical leave the next day for him to heal his wounds. Plus, an extra day not to see his bullies, so that's good. However, even if he was absent tomorrow, who knows what will happen the next day? Who knows what revenge stunt his bullies will pull on him? Without a doubt, that's true, and Kohinata can't be there for him 24/7. So that's why from here on out, she's going to teach him how to fight so that he can learn to at least defend himself. Or fall in love, which is most likely to happen. Purple-haired girls, love them.